Hi everybody, and welcome back to Lost Genre Reddit Stories. A short PSA before we begin, this video contains two stories that both of them have updates. So be sure to stay tuned for both of them because they're really interesting. Now let's get started. This post is from the subreddit Relationships and it's by user HelpMe2999. My 25 male girlfriend, 24 female, of 4 years dropped a huge bombshell on me about sex. Need advice. My girlfriend and I have been dating for almost 4 years now and living together for 3. I've always imagined us to be together forever and she's in every dream and vision I have of the future. We were friends before we started dating for a few months and she confided in me that she felt awkward about sex and she hasn't had sex for 2 years before dating me for this reason. However, when we first started dating, we would have sex easily 3 times a day. But after a few months, that died down to probably 5 to 7 times a week for 3 years. Every now and then, she would drop little hints saying that in the future, she might not be able to have sex. But I never really paid attention to her small comments, because her actions spoke a lot louder than her words. Constant sex. For the past 3 months, our sex life has almost completely died. She would always offer oral instead of actually having sex. So 2 days ago, I questioned her why she never wants to have sex anymore. She told me she can't really explain it to me, but she feels a lot of anxiety about having sex and losing control. And by lose control, I mean emotionally and mentally, like when you get drunk when she has an orgasm. Now, she doesn't drink or do any drugs because of the same loss of control feeling. She then told me that she never wants to have sex again, ever. It's really hard for me to understand her situation, but I asked her if she would seek counseling with a licensed CBT about this and some other issues, but she refused and says she likes the way she is. The huge problem for me is I love her completely and I can't imagine being with someone else, but I don't know if I want to live my life without ever having sex again. I feel like a huge a-hole for saying that, but sex is something that is very enjoyable to me and an important part of my relationship. She doesn't want to break up with me and we're both having a really hard time understanding each other. There have been a lot of emotions flying around lately because we both can't imagine being without each other. Is there a better or more productive way I can talk to her about this? Am I wrong for considering leaving her over this? I would love advice from anyone. I don't know if it's relevant, but she works in a club where she makes a lot of money by using her looks. She has no problem showing her body off and being flirty or showing her worth as a sexual person. I really just wish I could understand her and wish she would seek therapy. Please help. Well, OP, within my ignorance and with the information that you gave us at the start of the post, I thought, well, maybe she's just asexual and that's it. But then you spoke about how often you guys would have sex and that doesn't sound like somebody who's asexual to me at all, just somebody who doesn't enjoy it. And then you explained that she doesn't like this loss of control when she climaxes. So I do think you are right with suggesting therapy because this might be something that she might want to take a look at. However, she doesn't seem to want to fix anything here at all and she says she's happy the way she is. That's absolutely fine as well. It is her choice. Just as I believe it is your choice as to how important sex is for you in a relationship, I believe it is very important. It's part of the chemistry part. And if this is a deal breaker for you, well, that's it as well. And you shouldn't be shamed or forced to stay in a relationship otherwise. The thing is, OP, you can't force her to go to therapy and you can't coerce her to have sex with you if she doesn't want to. Of course not. That would not be okay in any way. And at the same time, she can't coerce you or shame you to stay in a relationship where you are missing out something that you really, really want. So I guess all of this is to say that you need to sit down with your girlfriend, actually put everything on the table, and then make a decision whether this relationship moves forward or not. And what do you guys think about this whole situation, or what would you do if you were in OP's shoes? Let me know in the comment section, and now let's move on to the community comments to see what they said. Deleted says, she needs to see a sex therapist. This isn't normal at all, dude. Was she sexually abused or something in the past? It's common for victims to feel threatened at the loss of control of their bodies during sex. Please ask her again to talk to a professional. Also, don't feel bad for wanting to leave. Sex is very important in a relationship for a lot of people, and it's okay if this is a deal breaker for you. And Opie responds, "Thank you so much for replying so quickly. By lose control, I mean emotionally and mentally, like when you get too drunk. P.S. She doesn't drink or do any drugs because of the same loss of control feeling." Honestly says, "Not wanting sex as much as you did when you first got together is totally normal, but not enjoying orgasm because of the loss of control is not normal." It sounds almost like she has undiagnosed OCD. Does she have any history of having an eating disorder by any chance? Because if she does, she needs to get help as soon as possible before that becomes a problem again. If she's got control-based compulsions, this might be a red flag that they're becoming more problematic. I wish I could reply to all of these posts, but I'm going to a country concert today and trying to keep my mind off of things. However, this comment really hit home with me. She is OCD about a lot of obscure things and used to have eating problems. I will have to research this later when I'm home. After reading this, I now know she needs therapy more than ever. Convincing her to go is going to be a battle on its own. Mother effing a-hole says, "I have the same issues as she has. When I have an anxiety attack, I get a huge head rush, and that happens when I exercise, when I orgasm, etc. I started exercising a little more regularly, and I get that feeling. I instantly worry that it is my anxiety, but I keep running, and I tell my brain to shut up, and eventually it fades away and I'm okay. Running has helped me tremendously in being able to recognize that I'm going to feel that feeling sometimes, and that it doesn't always mean an anxiety attack is on its way." So I really understand her fear, but it is so bad for mental health to continue to avoid something because you're afraid. Give her an ultimatum. It's counseling or you're hitting the road. It's not wrong for this to be a deal breaker. It's not wrong to want her to get help since she is allowing herself to avoid things that could help her calm herself down when she's actually about to start panicking. Tell her that too. If she exercises and gets counseling, it will make it a lot easier to manage her anxiety. It's helped me enormously. Additional information from Opie's comments. Wow, I never expected such a huge amount of responses from everyone. This is actually amazing. My girlfriend and I have read through many of these and she still doesn't feel comfortable going to therapy. I really do not want to break up with her. I absolutely love her and she's by far the best friend I've ever had. As far as she knows, she's never been sexually abused, but with the childhood that she had, I wouldn't be surprised if she just doesn't remember. Also, I read quite a few comments about her cheating or cheating on me. I can, with 100% certainty, say that this is not the case at all. She is very honest with me about everything she does and everyone she talks to. She rarely even goes out or has many friends. None of her actions have been out of character and she hasn't done anything to make me slightly suspicious. Plus, she's terrible at hiding things. After we read through these comments, we kind of had a huge fight. I want to go to couples therapy, but she is so against couples therapy or any therapy that she said we can go back to having sex all the time, whenever I want. That by itself makes me realize how badly we need to seek therapy if we want this relationship to work in the long run. The thought of one-sided sex and her bending completely to my will is a huge turnoff and the exact opposite of what I want. Any suggestions for bringing up going to therapy in a different way? She has a history of being forced into going to therapy as an adolescent, and it made her very resentful towards any sort of counseling. Also, to give you guys more context, she's my first serious love, and I'm just really attached and, as sad as it sounds, afraid of not being able to date anyone else. I guess I have a lot of insecurities about my physical appearance and being undateable. We've been talking a lot and she said that sex was always for me and she just wanted to be the ideal girlfriend for me. I feel kind of hurt that she was pretty much deceiving me for years. The sex was never painful, but she can't really describe it to me. She said it was always enjoyable and she likes having sex, but she has really bad anxiety and strong feelings of resentment towards herself after. Yet, she still won't seek therapy. Alright, well the community agrees that she might have some issues that she needs to work on, but again, if she doesn't want to, that's up to her. Now, I find the context a little bit confusing, considering OP said that she really was not good at lying or hiding anything. However, apparently, she's been deceiving OP about her enjoying sex this whole time, which to me is a bit disturbing. I don't know if that's the right word, but, you know, uneasy, because she put herself through something that she clearly didn't enjoy just to keep him happy. That's not healthy at all. Anyways, let's just move on with the update to see what happened next and how the story ends. So, I know it's been a while since I made my first Reddit post ever. The number of responses that I received was way more than anything I had ever anticipated, so thank you all so much for that. So, it's been about a month since my girlfriend dropped a huge bombshell on me saying she no longer feels comfortable having sex. Naturally, I took everyone's advice and using my own intuition, I pushed for therapy, which actually made things worse. She started to become resentful towards me because she thought that I saw her as crazy or damaged, even though that wasn't the case at all. For the past month, we've been arguing a lot, and both of us were kind of in limbo because we never had a huge relationship problem like this before. She's been trying to stay out of the house more because we just argue all the time. So now, 3 days ago, I come home from visiting my parents out of state. She refused to go with me, and I ask her, "So, what are we?" And she breaks up with me right then and there. I don't expect a pity party from anyone, but this is the first time I've been broken up with, and she was my first real girlfriend. I kind of just assumed that we would be together forever. At first I wouldn't accept it. I spent an entire day just crying and dwelling on all the good times that we've had. I'm destroyed inside more than anything because 2 months ago we would go for walks through our neighborhood and romanticize about our future house and plans together. I still don't understand why she would break up with me, but I've come to accept that it's really happening. Now the worst thing is, we still live together and it's absolute hell. I'm so confused because I love seeing her and being around her still, but when she's gone now, and it's often, I'm a complete wreck. I can't focus on my schoolwork or even find happiness in things I used to love doing. I go to school in Philadelphia and my term just started. I have nowhere to move immediately because we moved to the area recently because her family lives here. I have 0 close friends nearby and almost no one to talk to about this without feeling embarrassed. I haven't even told my parents because I really don't want them to worry about me. I've been sending out dozens of applications and searching far and wide for apartments nearby, but I guess I'm still kind of hoping things work between us, even though I know they won't. I feel completely pathetic and weaker than I ever have in my life. I can't even write this without tears, but I know I have to keep going and need help moving forward, so I'm going to see a school counselor tomorrow. And that was not the ending I was expecting. I think I'm gonna call it a bittersweet ending, because even though OP is hurting and it is sad that he is, the relationship is over and he knows he needs help moving forward and he's going to do that. So on that note, OP, I just wish you all the best in the future and thank you so much for sharing. And now let's move on to the next post that, like I said in the beginning of the video, also comes with an update, so stay tuned. This post is from the subreddit Relationships and it's by user AvicePulse. Me, 22 female, with my ex-boyfriend, 24 male. He has threatened to spread naked pictures of me. Hope this is the right place to post this as I really need advice. We were together for about 2 years, but parts of this were long distance because he is active duty military. So we did what I guess a lot of people do in long distance relationships and relied on Skype and sending pictures to maintain a sex life when he was away. I broke up with him a couple of months ago. His behavior had become a bit erratic and I realized I didn't want to stay with him anymore. However, the breakup was not smooth and he kept trying to manipulate me to get back with him and wouldn't stop contacting me and my friends. I decided to cut all contact with him, blocked his number, blocked all social media, and my friends did too. So this worked and I didn't hear anything from him, but then this morning I got a Facebook message from one of his friends who I vaguely knew. He sent me a screenshot of a Facebook status my ex had made last week, as he thought I should see it. The status read, "So glad I have nudes of my ex. Now, what do I do with them? I hear there are a lot of websites to send this crap out." People had commented to tell him not to do anything, but his only reply was, "She's a bitch. I am now in a bit of a panic about what he has done with them. It could be an empty thread, but he knew I had blocked him so he wouldn't think I saw the post. I was just lucky this guy sent it to me. He also posted it last week, so he could have already done something with them. Is there any way to look for pictures? Do you think it is worth breaking no contact to confront him about it? Any advice is really appreciated. Wow, OP, your ex-boyfriend is a tool and an idiot, and you know all the expletives you could come up with. And personally, I don't think you need to contact him at all. However, I do think you need to contact authorities. Thank that ex's friend for sharing the screenshot with you, and tell him that maybe he'd like to convey to your ex that you will be going to the police with this. Also, you mentioned he's active military. I would definitely believe this is conduct unbecoming, so maybe you can contact them as well and let them know about what he wants to do or what he's posting online. In my opinion, it doesn't matter if it's an empty threat. It's just a no-no and he should be held accountable for it. And what do you guys think OP should do in this situation? Do you think she should break no contact to let him know what she wants to do or to tell him to stop it, or that she should just go to the authorities? Let me know in the comment section, and now let's move on to the community comments to see what they said. Steph Rutka says, my ex threatened to do that. He claimed he submit them to smut sites and such. Where I am, that's a hefty fine for redistributing pictures without consent. He tried to keep claiming he submitted the pictures. I asked for them and he linked me to some smut site. It's probably not even there anymore because no one cared about it, as some weird insult to me. Sure enough, the page never existed because he just lied about it to try to work me up. But yeah, take that screen capture to the cops and see what can be done in your area. Vitesh says, thank that friend for giving you the information and ask him to let you know if he finds out if he does actually post those pictures anywhere. I would break no contact with him to let him know that posting those pictures without your consent is illegal. Don't tell him who told you about what he wrote. I would look up the law that applies to your state and send it to him, highlighting the associated punishment. And OP responds, I have thanked him already. It was really good of him to tell me, especially as I don't really know him. I think you are right about contacting him. I just hope he hasn't done anything with them yet. Buster2324 says, damn it, these threads are always infuriatingly filled with incorrect information. Listen up, unless your state or area has revenge smut laws or something similar, it is not illegal for your ex to spread dirty pictures of you as long as 1. He didn't illegally obtain the pictures, and 2. He isn't using the threat of spreading them to coerce you into doing something, which would be blackmail or extortion. So stop giving OP incorrect information that it is illegal. Unless she's lucky enough to live in an area with laws covering it, it's most likely legal. Yes, it's disgusting and morally repugnant. Unfortunately, that doesn't always translate to being illegal. That said, it's still a good idea to lawyer up and go to the cops. The police are often willing to make some empty threats in situations like this, and they may be enough. The guy is also military, so there may be some recourse there. Additional information from OP's comments. I looked up, and in my state there is no clear and defined revenge smut law, so I'm not sure if the police can do anything, but I'm going to talk to a lawyer. I also wasn't sure if his commanding officer would be interested, but from the replies on here, it sounds like he would and hopefully be effective. However, at the same time, I don't want to cause a big drama with him. I just don't want him to post any pictures. I don't know what he wants to get out of this. It can't just be to piss me off because I wouldn't even know if that guy hadn't messaged me. Alright, well in my opinion, the community gave OP some very good advice and something to think about. So let's move on with the update to see what OP did and how the story ends. I want to start by thanking the people who replied to my original post because the advice was super helpful as I honestly didn't know what to do. So the first thing I did was contact my ex to let him know I knew, and I also still had this hope that maybe we would sort it out without getting lawyers etc. involved. I sent a text basically saying someone let me know what he had put on Facebook and that I was going to contact a lawyer if he posted them. I think it is easier to explain what happened next by writing out the text conversation we had. I haven't done anything with your pictures and I won't if you agree to get back together. You really think that will work? Doing crap like this is the exact reason I don't want to be with you anymore. Give me another chance. No, I've already given you loads of chances. If you really cared about me, you wouldn't have done any of this. Why do you have to be such a bitch? How can you not effing realize how much I love you? I don't even know why I still do when you treat me like crap. I'm treating you like crap? You're trying to blackmail me to get back together with you. Do you not realize how effed up that is? I'm not getting back with you. Fine, I'm sure there are lots of people who will enjoy seeing what an effing floozy you are. I'm serious about getting a lawyer. He didn't reply. To start with, I couldn't believe that he thought by threatening to post the pictures I would get back with him, but then it is actually sort of typical behavior for him, trying to manipulate me. This was the reason I broke up with him and went no contact. I then got in contact with a lawyer and arranged a consultation in a few days' time. After this, I decided to email his commanding officer. He responded to me the same day saying it was something he would take seriously, especially as he posted that thread publicly on Facebook and will let me know the outcome. The next day, the commanding officer emailed me again and said it had been dealt with and he had been disciplined, though I'm not entirely sure how. Apparently, he admitted to his commanding officer that he hadn't posted any of the pictures and they haven't found any evidence that he did. I do believe this because I was so paranoid about it that I think I reversed image searched every single picture of myself and found nothing. Also, to my knowledge, no one has received any pictures. I'm so glad I did contact his commanding officer. I was hesitant before, so thanks Reddit for encouraging me to do it, because he acted so quickly. I haven't even seen a lawyer yet and I felt so relieved that something had been done as I was in a bit of a panic about it. I did then go and see a lawyer. Unfortunately, there are no specific revenge smut laws in my state. However, there are privacy laws that could include this, but it is quite complicated and unclear, though it seems he didn't actually post any pictures, so there probably isn't really a case. But his trying to use the thread as a way to get back with him does make it worse. Now, I don't really want to get the police involved, especially as I think the army has dealt with it effectively and quickly, and probably better than the police ever would. Also, after being disciplined by his commanding officer, I highly doubt he would now post them because he loved his job and I don't think he would risk it. However, I have decided to send him a cease and desist letter as he obviously still has the pictures and it wasn't that expensive. Personally, I now think the whole thing was just an empty threat so that I would contact him and he would try to get back with me. This makes me think that he wanted his friend to tell me so I would find out about it and contact him. It could just be me being cynical, but this wouldn't surprise me. I just hope it is all over now. So thanks again for the replies to my previous post, it seriously helped me so much. Sorry this is long, but a lot has happened in a few days. Also, I hope this helps if anyone is ever in a similar situation. It is something that is taken seriously. Alright OP, I guess your ex has proven to be an absolute idiot. And apparently he did get disciplined for being a moron. It does suck that there isn't any laws in your state regarding this. Hopefully there will be in the future. So at this point I'll say thank you so much for sharing OP and all the best in the future. Take care. And it's that time that we've reached the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed today's stories. I really did enjoy reading them to you. So if you did, then don't be shy and go ahead and give the video a like. And don't forget to subscribe or even share this video with people that you might think will enjoy my storytelling. Also, if you have the time, go down to the video description and check out all the links I have for you, from our Discord community to my channel merch. And finally, I'd like to say thank you for watching. It really means a lot to me that you enjoy my videos. And having said all that, I'll see you guys in the next video.